Okay, so here we go. Good afternoon again, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome again. Okay, I hope everyone was okay, doing okay, okay, and doing fine. Okay, even though we're still in our pandemic. Okay, but I hope everyone will be healthy and safe at your own place. Okay, so here we go. Since both of the group already have your lab class for this week, so you already know what is our module. Okay, it's about the programming module. So let we go to the overview. uh, is it we have the final exam, is it we have the test, okay, the lab test, or is it we have the assignments? So let we go through the module first. Okay, here we go. Okay, so our aim for this module is to introduce and familiarize all students with the computational perspective concept and practices. Okay, disseminate the techniques and concept of the computer programming. Okay, develop the abilities in designing a software system, a very simple software or applications, and introduce the techniques to design event-driven system. That is the aim of the module. Eh? Okay, so here we go, the learning outcomes. Okay, learning outcome of the modules, not the chapter. The modules means for the whole semester. On successful completion of this module, you should be able to apply the principles of computational thinking to problem solving. Means if you get the questions, you know how to solve the problems based on the question given. Okay, set a goals for an application design, okay, a user interface, and develop the algorithm to achieve the goal. Okay, so the algorithm that we will learn, okay, it will be in chapter problem and solving, okay, chapter. Communicate and contribute towards the team in a collaborative environment. But during the pandemic, we don't have this teamwork environment, as everyone is in front of their own computer and do it the exercise individually. Okay, so for this time around, we will do it individually. Usually, during the physical class, we had it in a teamwork. Like when I give you the exercise question, okay, you can discuss with your friends. But during the online class, we don't have this teamwork anymore. All of us do it personally, okay, individually. Okay, so this is the topics that we will cover. Okay. This is the topic that we will cover. The first one, which is today, is the introduction to the programming. Okay, and then we will cover about the problem solving and algorithm. How you want to solve a problem from one given questions, and what type of algorithm that you will use. Okay, introduction to the computational thinking. Okay, because this is what we learn, computational thinking, which is everyone can create a simple application. So we will learn about the data and variables, Boolean logic, branching and list, okay, the project management, procedure and function, and OOP, the object-oriented programming. So if you think that, okay, if you think that if the if the visual programming that you learn, the computational thinking doesn't have the object-oriented programming, you are wrong. Okay, we have this object-oriented programming, even though the object-oriented programming is not as much as the object-oriented programming such as like C++, Java, and other programming language that have the OOP. Even we don't have much, but still we have the OOP in our BYOB or Snap or Scratch. Okay, the simple one. Okay. Okay. So we had a good news. Okay. We had a good news. We don't have any final exam, but it's 100% in course assessment. Okay, in course assessment. So when I say in course assessment, okay, so 100% in course assessment. So this is the good news. We had the 100% in course assessment. So the best thing is when we say 100% in course assessment, we don't have final exam. So everything will be done in duration of 12 weeks. Okay, everything will be done in duration of 12 weeks. Clear? Clear?
Clear, miss.
Okay. So, what is the assessment components that we have? So, instead of having a final exam, we will have 2 lab tests. Okay, first lab test 1 will be in the middle of semester, which is week 7. Okay, and then the second lab test, which is lab test 2, will be at the end of the semester, week 12. Okay, and then we have individual assignment or individual project. So the weightage is for lab tests. Each of the lab tests are 30%, 30%, and your assignment, individual project was 40%, total 100%. Any question? Any questions?
Miss, is the test MCQ?
This is programming, so not MCQ. You need to write a code.
All right, Miss, clear, Miss. Clear.
Okay. Any other questions?
I have no questions, miss.
Okay, everything clear?
Yeah.
Miss, excuse me.
Yes.
Can you explain for me what is lab test? How is it?
It's a programming test.
Okay, thank you, miss.
Okay. Any other questions? No. No questions?
Miss,
Yes.
I miss.
Yes.
What will the individual assignment consist of?
The question will be given next week.
But it will be programming too, or?
Yes.
Okay.
You learn programming, guys. So of course, all the question will be related to the programming.
Okay, miss. Thank you.
It's not object. It's not MCQ. It's not something like a short answer questions. It's a programming. So all question will be related to a programming. That's mean for your lab test 1, lab test 2, you will be test for a programming questions. you will create a one simple programming question based on the questions, and one simple programming answer based on the questions. Okay, for the individual assignment, of course, you need to create a program, an application. This is what you have it. Okay, okay, so here, develop abilities in designing a software system. So it's more to application. You will create a one simple application. So is it clear? Clear?
Clear, miss. Clear.
Okay. Okay, next. So, hand in date. Hand in dates means your individual assignment questions. Most probably, it can be changed. Most probably, it will be hand to you by week 2, which is next week. You will get the questions after your question has been verified. Okay, I'm still waiting for the questions to be verified. Okay, so your lab test 1 will be on week 7. Lab test 2 will be on week 12. And your submission for your individual assignment, which is individual project, will be week 12. So how many weeks you have to finish your assignments? 10 weeks. 10 weeks, which is mean more than 2 months. So you cannot say that, Miss, I don't have enough time, because you were given ample of time. Okay? Clear?
Clear.
Okay? Clear, everyone clear?
Clear, miss.
Okay. So next, what supports available for you? Of course, me, your lecturer, Azia binti Abdullah. My email, azia@staffemail.apu.edu.my. My location is School of Computing, not School of Foundation. I'm no longer with School of Foundation. I am the School of Computing, Level 5, APU, New Campus. And you can also find me through the Microsoft Teams chat if you have any questions. So is it clear? Is
Yeah,
it
Miss, I
clear,
understood.
guys? Clear, So if clear, I give you 5-minute breaks before I go to chapter 1. If you want to go for a toilet break, go for a toilet break. If you want to go to drink a water, you can go and drink your water. Okay, then we will continue with chapter 1. Okay, guys? Go and have your some water. If you want to drink some water, if you want to go for a toilet break, you may go to the toilet break before we continue or proceed to the chapter 1. Okay, can we continue? Can we continue, guys?
Yes, Miss.
Okay. Okay. I know. We continue. We finish early. You want to end the class earlier. I know that. I know that, guys. Very clever, eh? Okay. Okay. Let we continue, eh? Okay, here we go. Okay, before we go and go through in details about our programming language that we will learn this semester, which is the visual programming. Okay, we need to know about the general programming, means other programming as well, the level of the programming language. So we need to learn. Okay, we need to know. At least we had the knowledge. Okay, so that's why we have the introduction to programming. Okay, introduction to programming. So the topics that we will cover is what is the computer, what is the program, what is the computer language, what is the computer programming, and what is the computer programmer, and the generation of the programming language. Okay, and what is the types of programming language. We have multiple types of programming language, guys. Okay, so we had the 3 generations. Okay, the low level generations. Okay, we have the machine language generations. Okay, we have the high level language generations. So we also have many multiple types of programming language based on the high level language. So let's proceed. Okay, at the end of this lecture today, okay, you will be able to define the term of computer, programming, language, and computer program. So describe the generation of programming language and identify the type of programming language. So you will identify as well the language that you learn, like BYOB, Scratch, or Snap, they are in which type of programming language. Okay? So let me proceed. So I have a quick review questions. What is your understanding about computer? What is computer? Okay, you don't have to go and search the meaning because I ask your understanding. So you can answer anything. Okay, you can write your answer in the meeting chat or you can unmute yourself. So what is your understanding about computer, guys? I just want to know.
Machine language.
Yes?
Machine language.
Computer is machine language. Okay. Futuristic book. Anything that makes humans works easier. Kitab. Computer is built up by programming system. Okay, what else? What is your understanding? Some of you saying that a computer is a machine language. So what is your understanding? Automated system to help human. Okay. Storing and processing data. Okay. Computer is a machine that combine both the mechanical part and the programming language of the technology. Okay. It's a machine, consists of processing unit and more components that I cannot remember at the back of my head. Okay. Who else want to answer the questions? is human job. Something that makes life easy for human. Okay, good. Thank you for your response, guys. Okay, so that is our understanding. We understand that computer make our life easier. We understand that computer is processing some data. Okay, that involve the programming and involved with the processing unit, involved with the hard drive and everything. That is our understanding. Okay, that's why I say, I will not say that your answer, okay, I will just take all your answer because that is your understanding. Okay, computer is something that, because we use the computer, so we said that, oh, computer is processing data, is a machine that process data, a machine that store data, a machine that make life easier for the for human. Okay, so that is our understanding. That's why I ask you, don't go and Google. I ask from your own understanding. So that is our understanding. Okay, by the right, computer means is, it doesn't exactly, okay, it's not only does exactly what human tell it to do. That is computer. So a computer in a actual definition, in fact, is an electronic device that operating under the control of instruction that store in its own memory, that can accept data, which is our input, and then can process the data, okay, process the input according to some specific rules and produce the information, which is the output. And it also can store the information for the future use. So that is a computer. Okay, or in easier way, we can say computer is a device, electronic device, that can process all the data according to the set of instruction. So data, what we mean data in here is like the input, okay, the raw data before they process to become an information. The one that you see right now, like this computer, a computer is an electronic device, this is information. This is the information because this is the output that you will see. Okay, it's not a raw data. So that is what computer are. Okay, so what program is a set of instruction that following the rules of the chosen language. So without a program, computer are useless. Like you have a computer, but you don't have the operating system. So when you don't have the operating system, can your computer works? I'm asking you. Can your computer works? Guys? No. Yeah, correct. Okay. Cannot, right? So our computer become useless. So a program is like a recipe where it contains a list of ingredients called variables and a list of direction called a statement that tell a computer what to do. So when you install the OS, the operating system has been programmed, okay, has been programmed, and they have all the set of instruction, the statement, okay, to instruct or to tell the computer what they should do. Yeah, it's impossible, so now you understand, what is computer, what is program. Clear? Clear? Okay. Okay. So you already know what is computer, you already know what is a computer, what is a program. Then we go to the computer programming. Okay. Computer programming, or known as programming, is used to create the application or software that you use every day. For example, you have the application to calculate your BMI. So this application of calculating the BMI to calculate your health, that your step, okay, your walking steps, to calculate what else, the application that we use every day. Maybe to check your heartbeat. So all that is the application that created, okay, using a programming that we can use every day. Like our Microsoft Teams, okay? So application software is the result of the efforts of the computer programmers. Knowing at least the basic of the history and practices of the programming will help you to better understand what goes on inside the computer. Okay. When we say computer programming, okay, so we have the different keyword. Okay, we had a different keyword. So, computer programming or programming is a multi-step process for designing or creating instruction or solution, while the programming language is a set of words, including symbol and rules, used to create the instruction for computer to perform. Okay, while program or application is a list of instructions that the computer must follow in order to perform specific assigned tasks. While syntax is a set of rules to create a program, code is the computer instruction. So this is the things that you will always use. But in BYOB or in Snap, in Scratch, we call them as a script. Okay, for our code, okay, for our syntax, we call it as a script. Okay, we call it as a script. So in other programming language, now normally or usually we call it as a syntax. Okay. Okay. So the programming language that we have, okay, like C, C++, HTML, PHP, Java, BYOB, Scratch, and many more. Like many. It's too many. Okay, but we didn't learn everything during our study years. Okay, we learned only a few of them. But actually, when you go outside, you go and find a job and you work as a programmer, you will find out that actually we had many more programming language. But don't worry, you have the basic. The other programming language will be easier for everyone to learn and to use, as long as you have the basic. Okay? Okay, while program or application is like Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, the one that we use right now, okay? Attendance record, the AP Space, Moodle. That is a program or application. Okay, the example. Syntax is a cout, hello world. Like in BYOB, you already learned BYOB, so we have the okay, say command, we have the move command, okay, we have the switch costume. That is the script. Okay, for us, code is something like your HTML. Usually we use code for the HTML. Okay, the programmer, the web programming, the HTML. Okay, the head, body. Okay, so that is the code. Okay. Okay, so we know computer programming. We know what is computer. We know what is a program. Okay, what is the program? So basically, what is computer language? Computer language, or we can say is a programming language. Because a computer language is an artificial language that tells the computer what to do. So, it is same meaning as programming language. Okay, it has the same meaning with the programming language. That is computer language. Wait, guys. Okay. So, what is programming language? A programming language is a vocabulary and set of grammatical rules, the syntax or the script, for instructing a computer to perform a specific task. Remember in lab tutorial, okay, that you had in this week previously, we said that the sprite will say, hello, I'm a dragon. Do you want to see me brave a fire? And then we call a play sound. So we instruct the computer to perform what we had. So that's why we get the output that our dragon is brave a fire with the sound. Okay, so programming language can be used to create a computer program. But you or us, we eventually need to convert our program into a machine language so that the computer can understand it. This is what some of you answered just now. Computer is machine language. Computer is not a machine language, but computer is understand a machine language. Because you must know, machine language is a one of programming language that only computer can understand. Then how about your other programming language? That's why we have the compiler and interpreter, the debugger. The compiler and interpreter, they will interpret and compile, translate into a machine language, which is you cannot see. You will not see any converting from your language, your programming language, into a machine language. That will be due in behind, which is we cannot see anything. They will convert them into a machine language and they will view or display the output based on what you understand. The output that you saw is something that already converted into a machine language. It's already converted into a machine language, so the computer will understand. Okay, so to convert them, we have compiler and interpreter. Okay, compiler and interpreter. So compile is to transform, compiler, okay, is to transform a program written in high-level programming language from source code into object code. So this can be done by using a tool called compiler. Okay, a compiler reads the whole source code and translate it into a complete machine code program to perform the required task, which is output as a new file. Right? An interpreter is a program that executes instruction written in a high-level language as well. Usually, interpreter we use for the web programming language. Okay, even though you have an error, they still run your program. You will still get to see the output, but only certain area that having an error, you cannot see the output. This is interpreter. But using a compiler, you cannot see any output until you fix the error. That is different, okay? So an interpreter with the source code one instruction or line at a time, convert this line into machine code and execute it. Both interpreter and compiler will convert your code or your program into the machine language, then you will get the output. Because computer only understand machine language. All the language that you wrote here, computer doesn't understand. But your software that you install already have this Okay, converting into the machine language. So the computer will understand them. Clear? Clear? Okay? Okay? So the machine language is the 0 0 0 0 0 0 1 1 1 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 1 1 1 1 1 1. So each of alphabetical like A to Z, they have their own binary code. So if you say that 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, that is not a machine language. Machine language is only binary code. Okay? So this is the machine language. Okay, each of these, okay, have their own letter. Okay, so this is your computer hardware binary. Going back to the program instruction, and this is what the users see. You will see what you want to see. You won't see the machine language, the binary. So this is the example, A to Z. You just imagine, my name is Azia. You just imagine how long will be my name in a binary code. 1 0 0 0 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 0 1 0 0 1 1 0 0 0 0 0 1 and then 1 0 0 1 0 0 0. So we can't remember. Okay, so this is a 7-bit ASCII codes. In fact, each character of the programming language statement, including spaces, is translated into binary, and then the combination is mapped to specific CPU instruction. Just imagine lah, how long will be your name? Clear? Clear, guys?
Yes, Miss, clear.
Okay. Let's continue. Okay. So then we look at the programming style in 1950. You just imagine, okay? This is a programming style. We have a tube, for the programming. So if you have an error, like a bad tube, means you need to check any until 19,000 possibility to see which one is have a bad tube or the error. You just imagine now. So thanks to the programmer that we had to use a very nice programming language without we need to suffer with this kind of replacing the bad tube. Okay? Okay. Yes. Okay. So this is the things to do in programming language. A lot. Like the basic one. The variables, the data types, the array or list, attributes, syntax variation, linear search. Okay. For the control structure, we have the sequence structure, selection structure, the iterations for the repetition, and the Boolean logic. Boolean logic we use in the in our logical statement. Okay, logical expression. And then we have the function like parameters, okay? The function with parameters, the arguments, the pass by value, pass by reference, random numbers, return value, and we also have the object-oriented programming, okay? Classes, constructor, instances, scope modifier, methods, overloaded, operator. But not all will be learned and used in BYOB. Okay, not everything that we had in other programming language. This one is for everything, for all programming language we have this. Not all this will be learned and used in BYOB. Clear?
Clear, miss.
Okay. Okay, so then we go to the programming language, more about that, more detail. So over the year, computer language have evolved. Like 1940s, they start with the machine language. And then 1950s, we have the assembly language. And starting 1960 until now, we have the high level language. So this high level language, we had a different level. Okay, we have like four generation, fifth generation for the high level language. Okay, so we go to the first one, the one that computer understand very well, the machine language. Okay, so machine language is the first generation of programming language, the only language understood by a computer without a translation. You don't have to translate because they already know. So the time to run the program is fast, but to type the program will be very slow because remember, human is not understand the machine language. Okay, language that consists of 0 and 1 that directly correspond to the computers. So also known as binary or machine code. Okay, advantages of using a machine language, very fast in processing data. Why? Because it's the language that computer understand. The disadvantages is machine or hardware dependent, time consuming because it takes time to write the code. Because that language is not all human understand. Because difficult to create a program. It's less user friendly. Because using all the binary code. The assembly language is the second generation of the programming language, also known as symbolic language. Why? Because they combine, they combine the symbol or mnemonics, the abbreviation like DIV. DIV is for divide. So much like English to represent the various machine language, but at the same time, introduce a new problem. Why? Because some human understand, some human not understand the abbreviation, but it still can consider most of the human understand about the symbol and the mnemonics, the abbreviation, but we need assembler because computer doesn't understand this language. We need to convert, translate into the machine language. Okay? Advantages, fast in processing data. Program can be written more quickly because human understand, even a few, but human more understand with the symbol, and then abbreviations. But disadvantage is time consuming because waiting for the translation will take a long time, and it's a machine or hardware dependent. The one that everyone like it. High level language. High level language is the third generation of programming language, also known as procedural language. They use an English-like language instead of symbol and abbreviation. That's why when you use Python, you use C, C++, you use BYOB, Snap, Scratch, the language is more English-like. You understand? Like C++, C out. C out is for output, to display the output. C in, to get the input. In C, print F. Scan F, print. to print, scan, to get the input, print, to get the output. Okay, and then you have the system.out.print line. So that means it's want to print the line for the Java. So it's more English-like language that everyone can understand. So it's designed to relieve the programmer from the details of the assembly language. So allow us to write a computer code using instruction resembling everyday spoken language, like if, while, print, say, okay, switch costume, when the green flag clicks, so which are then translated into machine language to be executed. Okay, so advantage, easy to program and machine independent. Disadvantages? No, because everyone like the high level language. Of course we have the disadvantages, but it's more likely we had the more advantages more than disadvantages. So let's we go detail about all this. Then high level language, we have the very high level, the 4th generation. No disadvantages, just like me. Okay lah, Vifat, I accept. Okay, so the 4th generation, also known as the object-oriented programming or non-procedural language. So it's much more user-oriented and allow the programmers to develop program with fewer commands. Okay, some of very high-level language are also called as RAD, the Rapid Application Development Tools. So the use of visual in programming was also introduced in this very high-level language. That's why we started to have the VB, the Visual Basic. Okay, in this 4th language, we started to have the Visual Basic, where we have the visual programming. So example of very high-level language as like C++, Java, Visual Basic. So that is the example. Okay. And the 5th generation is a natural language. This one is the type of high-level language, but is a 5th generation. It's more to natural language. Okay, so it's use human language to give people a more natural connection with a computers. So natural language allow questions or command to be framed in a more conversational way. For example, natural language that we have is the AI. Okay, the artificial intelligence that you can create using, I think AI nowadays we can create using Python as well, but AI has their own programming language. Okay, I need to remember. Last time I used, I used during my study, but wait, it start from S, but I don't. No, it's not start from S. It start from P and L. Okay. It's a lips. Okay, lips and prologue. So lips and prologue is one type of natural language for AI that we use previously. Nowadays, even Python can use in the natural language. So it's more like, I want to eat fried rice cooked by my mom at 5 p.m. on 5th of April 2021. So this is more to the human language. Okay, so part of the field of study known as AI. AI, a technology that attempt to develop machine to emulate human-like qualities. So this is the 5th generation. Okay, so this is another sample. Okay, the type of level language. Okay, like functional languages, we have the Haskell, Scala, ML, and F#. This is example, guys. This one is just for your knowledge because we want to know where is our Scratch, BYOB, and Snap. Okay, So shell languages just like a PowerShell, Bash, scripting language like Perl, Altoids, okay? Markup language just as like HTML, XHTML, the XML, okay? And the query languages, the database, the SQL, okay? The domain specific language R. This one is example of the programming language, and graphical languages. This is where our Scratch, BYOB, and Snap belong to. We are high-level language, but it's under graphical languages. So it's a visual language. And then we also have the esoteric language. Example of the programming language is like LOL code and the white space. Okay. So if you see many, right? This is a few, but actually we have many more. Okay, clear? Okay. Okay, so let's look at the comparison between machine language, assembly language, and the high-level language for the time to execute and time to develop. Okay, from this comparison, for time to execute, which one is the best one? Based on the time to execute. Is it machine language, assembly language, or high-level language? Yes, okay. So based on the comparison, the time to execute machine language is the best one. Alright? Because computer can understand machine language. So the time to execute, it will be very fast. Okay, the program will run faster. Okay, and time to develop, which one? Machine, assembly, or high level? Time to develop, machine, assembly, or high level? Yes, it's high level because easiest to use. It takes time to develop programs. Why? Because we understand more the languages. Of course, okay, high level language win. But for execute machine language because computer only understand the machine language. That is the comparison we need to know. Usually when we say about the programming language, okay, the languages, so it based on the level of the language, it based on the time to execute and time to develop. Okay. Okay, so now we go to the computer programming. So computer programming is the process of writing, testing, debugging, or troubleshooting and maintaining the source code of computer program. So the source code was written in a programming language such as like C++, Java, Perl, your BYOB, Snap, Scratch, Python, so Pascal, okay, we had many more. So this source code will be written and will be tested, okay, and we will do the debugging and we will troubleshoot and maintain the source code for the program. So that's why, guys, that is why we have a new version every time when we install the software, such as like our Microsoft Office. Until now, we already have the Office 365. We don't have to download, we don't have to install Microsoft Office anymore because we already have the Office 365. And then we have the Microsoft Teams. Even Microsoft Teams also, you need to, sometimes they update, okay? So this updating is the maintaining of the program, of the software. So they will remove bugs, they will remove any errors, okay? They will upgrade or enhance the software based on the feedback. So that's why we have this maintenance, okay? So this is what a computer programming, okay? Okay, then computer programmer. A computer programmer is someone who writes a computer program. You, everyone who write the computer program is a programmer. You guys maybe someday will be programmer. So computer programmers will write and test and maintain the programs or software that tell the computer what to do. Okay, being a computer programmer is very good and very nice. I also, before becoming a lecturer, I'm also a computer programmer. Okay? So, that's all for today. Any question, guys? Any questions? Wow, very fast, say no, eh? No programming language, no computer. Actually, it's not no programming language, no computer. No computer program. Of course lah, computer program was created based on the programming language that we learn, right? So even if there is no programming language, you won't have this smartphone. All your smartphone application are created using the programming language to become a computer program or the application. Okay?
Miss, I have a question.
Yes.
For the test, will we be asked to?
Yes.
Fatih, you're muted.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, I think someone muted me. Anyways, I was asking.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So my question was that for the test, will we be asked to make something using the codes, or will we be given something and told to write the codes on how to make them?
You will be given a question to create a program.
To create a program with code, okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any question, guys? Everyone clear? Is everyone clear with our chapter 1 and our overview chapter? Is it clear, guys?
Yes, miss.
Oh,
All
yes.
clear.
Clear. Clear, eh? I thought they will change our timetable, but they didn't change. Next week we will have the same time, Same time, same day. Okay, for our tutorial, for our lab class and for our lecture. Okay. I hope that our lecture will be before our lab class, but it's look like the timetable is already out for next week for me. Doesn't change. This means we will have our lab first. So it's my opinion, my personal opinions. I like to have a lecture class before the lab actually. Okay. Because sometimes you know what, we learn already in the lab class and then suddenly we learn the theory part in the lecture class. But usually because you already know them in the lab class, then it's easy lah. For the lecture class, it will be very easy. Because it's just like repeating things, but only in the theory part, in the theoretical base. Oh, okay. So, no question, eh? Okay. So, if you don't have any question, this is just like I want to like have a clear view with you guys. Only for this week only, first week only. Maybe we will finish early, for the class. Usually, when it goes to the second week, third week, we may not finish early as today. Clear?
Yes, miss.
Since like first week, right? Normally we usually have the introduction part. Okay? Okay. You don't have any question, I will stop the recording and I will give you